everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in today. I don't have one, I don't have two, I have three MXR carbon copy analog delays. I've got the mini, I've got the standard sized analog delay here, and I've got the deluxe one over here. I'd like to thank Jim Dunlop very, very much and the team at MXR for sending us these pedals to have a play around with. So first of all, you heard all three of them going one into the other, and then you sort of heard a little bit of them all separately as well. So what I'm going to do today is just go through the features on each one and just show you the difference. So straight off the bat, the first little tiny pedal with everything at 12 o'clock sounds like that. And then I've also noticed that the bigger pedal, which is the same but in a bigger footprint, also with all the knobs at 12 o'clock, they're almost identical. You can't even really tell that they're on. Now, the MXR Deluxe, all the knobs are at all different places because there's a lot more controls and a lot more features on there. So I'll get to that one towards the end. But anyway, the first one is, today I'm just going Telecaster through the pedals straight into the Katana Artist Mark II that you see behind me. All right, now the first obvious difference here is that the Mini has its power input on the top. They both have side mounted jacks, but the slightly bigger carbon copy has its power input here, just below the guitar input, which is, it doesn't bother me either way, but just letting you know. All right, now the features on the first one. It will self-oscillate. Of course, because it's not an analog delay, it will self-oscillate. Now, on the side of the pedal, there is a bright switch. I'm just going to see if I can do this without a pen. All right, so now I've got the bright switch on. And you know I've got the bright switch on because there's a little light on the side here that comes up blue saying, hey, you've got your bright switch on. So, yeah, it certainly makes it sound a bit brighter, doesn't it? Where am I? Turn it back off. Certainly makes the repeats much more focused on the high and upper mid sort of frequencies. All right, that's pretty cool. So the other thing that the little tiny footprint one has is some preset modulation to emulate some tape warble. And for those of you playing along at home, yes, I was listening to Blink 182 in the car before. So that's the Mini. Now onto this sort of just the stock standard sized carbon copy. It also does everything that the Mini does. Except it doesn't have a bright switch, so it also has the preset mod button. Now, it also has the preset mod button that you can actually adjust the width and the depth and the speed of the modulation. There are little trim pots on the inside if you want to take the back of the pedal off and have a play around with the trim pots. But I've got a space echo there behind me, you can see it. I think the modulation and width is just up a little bit. I don't mind the speed, I just don't want it that sort of out of tune. That's just a little bit too much warble for me, but it's still a really nice modulation. All right, we're going to move on to the Carbon Copy Deluxe. Now, there is a lot more packed into this, but at its heart is the basic analog delay that we all love. So, first of all, there's the mix. Regen gives you more repeats. Which is awesome. Now, this also has its bright switch on the top. But having a bright switch sort of takes all the fun out of tape echo. They're supposed to be pretty dull. Although that being said, the space echo behind me does have super bright repeats if you want it to. Alright, so this also has its knobs for its modulation on the top. So you can hear how crazy it gets. So I think I'd just like a little tiny bit. That's for the speed. You can hear how crazy fast it goes. So I think I'd like just a nice slow, just a little bit of vibrato on there and nice and slow. Turn the mix back down a bit. Now, unlike the other two, there is some tempo options in the Deluxe model. You can also pick different divisions. So, there's a semi-quaver, or you can have the divisions off. I should start there first. Which just gives you 1-to-1. Then you can have a dotted eighth. Then there's a quarter note. A triplet. And of course semiquavers. So 4 repeats to every beat. Right, now as if all that isn't enough, with the deluxe version, you can also plug in an expression pedal. There's an expression pedal input in the back, and what that lets you do is in the heel position you set one setting, and in the toe position you set another setting, and then you can just rock between them, and that's pretty much all it does. So, which is still pretty cool if you need 2 separate settings in one song, but as soon as you turn the pedal off, it forgets it, and as soon as you muck around with the knobs, it forgets it as well. Same thing is if you've got tap tempo going, and you actually play around with the repeat knob, it overrides whatever you've tapped into it. So anyway, there you go. There is all 3 carbon copies, how they sound and the differences between them. I hope you found that useful. I think it's terrific, and I love cascading each one into each one. I think it's great. I think I'd start with a long one. The next one I'd have sort of long. This one I would have sort of short. So they start longer and get progressively shorter. That's how I would cascade my delays. I've never plugged in 3 drive pedals at the same time. I'm just going to put the modulation on all of them and see what chaos that brings. Ah, that's awesome. And I love that natural degradation of the analog chips. That is awesome. Well done, MXR, and thank you, MXR and Jim Dunlop, for sending us these awesome pedals to play around with. If you've got this far, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. I'm going to do some more videos on these, putting them into effects loops or the front of the amp, so hold on to your hats and hang about. And thanks for getting this far, and we'll see you next time. Bye.